This is where we hold them. This is where we fight. This is where they die.
Fam, welcome to In Your Face Hoops, and thank you for taking the time to tap in. All right, today we got a banger. One of those things that make you go, Opened up with that scene from the movie 300 because I watched it the other day, and it made me think of Jordan. One of my favorite scenes that I didn't show is when the Persian messenger came to the Spartan king Leonidas, basically told him to get down or lay down. In the process, the messenger disrespected the king's wife. The queen gave Leonidas that Jada Pinkett stare, you know, the one Jada gave Will Smith before he crashed down and smacked the life out of Chris Rock on live TV. So Leonidas got that stare. You know what he did? He kicked the messenger off the cliff to his death, rallied his men of 300 men, and went to war against an army of 100,000. That was badass, man. I mean, that was badass, and it was insane, but it was really badass. Even though it didn't work out, I had such a respect and admiration for their actions. It made me think about the contrasted paths Jordan and LeBron took to win championships, and why so many hold Jordan way above LeBron in GOAT status. Michael Jordan, with only 6 attempts, lifted the metaphorical 500-pound weight every single time, relying on his unmatched drive and a single key partner, Scottie Pippen. Meanwhile, LeBron James, despite having 10 attempts, and to support high-scoring teammates like Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, and Dwyane Wade, only managed to achieve this feat 4 times. In this video, we're going to examine both players' path to greatness. By the end, and that's why you need to stick around, it's going to show one player's path was effective while the other player's path wasn't just effective, it was dominant. But you decide, who is the more gladiator-like player in your eyes? Alright, let's start with LeBron James. The people were cheering the king in his first stint in Cleveland. He was beloved. But when he couldn't win, when he couldn't endure, when he couldn't stand the heat, he ran from the smoke. He ran and got out the kitchen and bolted for Miami and formed one of the greatest trios in NBA history. Many of us thought it was unfair and it was a cheat code. Was it a concession or was it smart defeat? Because without going to Miami, LeBron would be another great player, but would he be iconic? I don't think so. He had to team up with another great player in D-Wade. And you know what? This is not my thought. Take a listen to Shannon Sharp, who is tied for first place with Nick Wright in terms of LeBron devotees in this world, on this planet Earth. Take a listen.
Do you agree with what LeBron said about his time in Miami?
Hell no, I vehemently disagree. I strenuously disagree with what he said. At the time that he had arrived in Miami, he had two regular season MVPs and 1 finals appearance through his first 7 seasons. LeBron, do you realize the reason why you got into the GOAT conversation? Because of what transpired in Miami? You won 2 more finals MVPs. You won 2 more regular season MVPs. You went to 4 straight finals. LeBron, how can you say that your career was going to be the same without going to Miami? LeBron, I'm not so sure, had you not gone to Miami, how do I make a compelling case? And I can argue any case before the Supreme Court. How do I make a case that he's a top 5 player if he doesn't go to Miami, Stephen A? I don't understand.
Throughout his career, LeBron has played alongside some of the most lethal scorers in NBA history. Let's break it down. Dwyane Wade, 22 points per game career average. Kyrie Irving, 23.6 points per game career average. Anthony Davis, 24 points per game career average. These aren't just good players, fam. These are certified bucket getters who demanded constant defensive attention. When LeBron played with these stars, defenses couldn't just focus on stopping him. Try to double team LeBron, Wade's cutting to the basket. Knock the paint, Kyrie's pulling up from mid-range. Send help defense, AD's throwing down lobs. The luxury of having teammates who can create their own shots and command double teams themselves has been a consistent theme in LeBron's championship pursuits. Facts. From the Heat's Big Three to the Cavs' dynamic duo to the Lakers' powerhouse pairing, LeBron has consistently sought and found elite scoring partners. Alright? Now, let's flip the script and look at Jordan's journey. A path that wasn't paved with all-star teammates or scoring superstars. His most notable partner, right? Scottie Pippen. Oh, he didn't win till Scottie came. Scottie averaged 16.1 points per game throughout his career. That's right. Jordan's best teammate barely cracked 16 points per game, fam. Think about that for a moment. Let that marinate. Matter of fact, you know what? Listen to Kenny Smith talking about Jordan and him being the only one on his team that commanded a double team.
I just feel that Michael never played on a team, same way Kobe. This is why Kobe as well got this luxury that LeBron has. He never played on a team where anybody on the court got double teamed but him.
He played with Shaq.
No, Kobe's played with Shaq, who got double teamed. He's playing with Dwyane Wade. Michael never played with a player that would get double teamed. So you had to carry that offensive load for an entire career, not just a season. And then on the other end, be first team all defensive play. There's no one going to ever be like that because they won't, none of these guys, as we talked about earlier about these super teams, nobody will ever have that burden put on them that Michael Jordan had the way things are being constructed.
All right, I give you another tidbit of information. Did you know that 1997 and that 1998 Bulls teams actually set records for the lowest scoring supporting cast to ever win championships? Think about that. Jordan's teammates averaged just 55.5 points per game in 1997, and even lower at 54.5 points per game in 1998. Yet they still dominated, fam. And why is that? Because Jordan had to be that guy every single night. And he gave it to you on the defensive end. No one on Jordan's teams commanded double teams like he did. When defenses locked in, they locked in on one man. Michael Air Jordan. There was no other offensive superstar to worry about like that. Pippen wasn't like that. He gave you all around play, but he wasn't going to go off for 50. No second option that could drop 30 on any given night. Jordan didn't just lead his team, he carried them on his shoulders throughout the whole and Eastern Conference battles and into the history books, fam. When we put these journeys side by side, the contrast is striking. Jordan's best teammate averaged 16.1 points per game, while LeBron's star companions each averaged over 22 points per game, 22, 23, 24. That's not just a small gap, it's a canyon of difference in offensive support, fam. Think about this. Jordan's Bulls set records for the lowest scoring supporting cast to win championships, yet they still dominated. Meanwhile, LeBron has consistently played with teammates who could be the first option on many other teams. The numbers are not lying here. Jordan's path required him to be more than just a superstar. He had to be a one-man wrecking crew. This is not to diminish LeBron's achievements. He's undoubtedly one of the greatest ever. But when we're talking about GOATs and when we're talking about who had to be the stronger individual force, who had to carry more weight on their shoulders, the evidence points clearly in one direction. Jordan didn't just win, he won with less offensive help than any other superstar in NBA history, and he handled his business in less time. So who's the stronger gladiator? The numbers, the context, and the history all point to one conclusion. Michael Jordan faced and conquered greater odds with less help. He didn't just win, he won while carrying a heavy load, perhaps, than any other superstar we've ever seen. When you think about the GOAT, you got to think about and recognize who had the harder path, the steeper climb, the greater individual challenge. Jordan's championships came without the luxury of a second elite scorer, without the safety net of another offensive superstar to share the load. Exactly why I get confused by these ex-athletes, even the current athletes, who are supposed to be competitors or fierce competitors. The King had a ton more help and yet still couldn't surpass Black Jesus. The King has had more help and still was swept and dismantled. But that's how I see it, fam. What's your view on the topic? Get in the comments and empty the clip. Was Jordan's path truly more challenging? Or does LeBron's journey deserve more credit? On your way out, do the channel a small favor and smash the like button, fam. It really helps us out a lot. If you want to be first to get our new content, just tap subscribe. Till the next video, be safe and God bless.